in a frenzy. The blends be all the right crowd.
All right, Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL has us on the west coast of the Sunshine State. Downtown Tampa's the spot, Raymond James Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Jets and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go, D. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping.
And to give this time to the tailback. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And he'll give it here to his running back. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On 3rd down, Winston. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
47-yard punt, a return of 4. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 24. Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Carl Nassib there on the tackle.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Jamison Crowder with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point from McManus is good, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That, too.
On 2nd and very short, Winston looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a handoff looking right. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 39-yard line.
Ready? Black, what is that?
Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here's Matt Gay now for the Bucs field goal. This officially a 55-yard attempt. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. That'd be ideal.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 18-yard line.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Nassib has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Well, it was 2nd long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
3rd and long, it's Darnold. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. A first update now from Cincinnati. The Broncos have taken the early lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Jameis to throw it. And he fires one that's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
After the interception, here's Darnold. And Darnold, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball is gone. Didn't happen.
Under pressure, they got him again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they look to throw. He's going to go deep for Conley, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. In on the stop that time, Terrell Basham. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Winston. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
To throw, Winston. He completes it to Evans. And that's the first connection, the number 1 overall pick in 2015, finding the number 7 pick in 2014 in Evans.
And what a great target Mike Evans is for Jameis Winston. Winston's a pretty accurate thrower, but that catch radius that Evans provides, that makes him that much more dangerous.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The intended target was Chris Godwin, and it's 3rd down. With that matchup, the adjustment that was made, you have a blazing guy on a blazing guy, and defensively, he won that battle.
The closing speed is the key. When you have a guy that fast and he can close at the end of a play and knock it away, that's a big deal, and we just saw him do it right there.
Tackle.
Working out of the gun, Winston. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Mike 54. Come on, dude. Right there. 54, right there.
Hey, lady. Defense wins championships, baby. He's crashing. He's checking crab. You got it.
A first down throw, Darnold. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. This is Bell, and he'll get this only up to about the 35. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
45, 45.
From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. And that is incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
The average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
This will be fielded at the 17. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
One play has them up past the 40 already and another 1st and 10. From the gun, Winston. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Chris Godwin with touchdown number 7 on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point by Gay is up and good, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Now this is Le'Veon Bell with a reception. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Darnold from the gun. Steps away to his left. And able to find Conley. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Now a first down carry by Bell. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Levante David in on the tackle.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold. And an alley to run. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And the Buccaneers defense holds, and they get the football back. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on 4th, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much 4th downs were emphasized. You know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. You know, if people are going to go for it on 4th down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 48.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Darnold off the play fake to Bell. Airing one out for Crowder, and that's caught inside the 30. 33 yards that time. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the 3rd quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
On 1st down, Bell. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Again, it's Bell. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22. And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Darnold. That is caught by Anderson for a Jets touchdown. Robbie Anderson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jets will extend their lead. McManus's point after is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Winston now. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. Here's Winston. Open man has got it. It's complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Hey, 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 39-yard line.
50. Black 25. Blue there, blue there. Let's go.
On 2nd and 11 now. Winston. He finds his target. It's Evans. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 45-yard line.
When Mike Evans sees man coverage, I don't think he's the only guy who gets excited. I'll guarantee the guy throwing the ball does, because guess what? He's got a lot of options about where to place it because of Mike Evans' size and frame.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Throwing, Winston. This one complete to Scott Miller. It's a gain of 16, 1st down Tampa Bay.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Winston now just 7 of 16 passing thus far, but he's got a 1st and 10. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, let's get it first. Let's go.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he's got room. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A great effort there. With a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point by Gay is up and good. A check of the scoreboard there in the 3rd and Baltimore. The Browns, they have scored again to add on to their lead. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
So that flag will cost them 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
I got it.
After the penalty, it's Bell. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
2nd and 5 now. Darnold. That's complete. It's Bell. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Darnold. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 14. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone.
Herndon hauls it in for the Jet touchdown. Chris Herndon with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Jets will extend their lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. He's going to look deep for Perriman. This is caught inside the 15. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 59 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Back now in Tampa. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the fourth quarter.
Ready? Hey, stop. You check 31, check 31. Wait, Triple C.
A first down throw for Winston. Godwin's got it. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Chris Godwin, his second touchdown of the afternoon, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. Second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I think you have to chalk that one up for the defense there. Someone right on the spot, excellent coverage, didn't leave him enough room to come down inbounds, even though he did catch the football.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Open man is Anderson. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. Darnold now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. A first down run for Bell, not going to get much. Maybe a couple, and it's 2nd down. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. They'll go again with Bell. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Now after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Darnold completes it. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On first down, Darnold. Flushed out right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Now a draw play. This is Bell. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. The Jets on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is going to be 3rd and 13. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down.
Get ready. Get ready.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He's got the 1st down and more past midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. And they try to sweep to Jones. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They'll try to throw now. Winston. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. To throw, Winston. He's got Evans. We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He'll look to throw. And this is caught by Evans. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. He's back to throw. That is caught. It's Perriman. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Rashad Perriman, his first touchdown on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from taking the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Extra point by Gay is up and good, and that is going to put them on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitor.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Switch gears. He's coming. We got to double up. Lady. Hey, exit.
And here we go on 4th. Darnold, now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Victory all but assured now as they take a knee here, and they're going to escape with a 1-point victory.
It's a loss of 1. Brings up 2nd and goal at the 10-yard line.
So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And it took a big 4th quarter to do it, but they were able to get the job done, and that's the bottom line.
No doubt about it. And let's face it, they had to be more than nervous in the 4th quarter. But a lot of that was their own doing. I think you observed during the game, their energy level just didn't seem to be there. But in the 4th quarter, somehow they dug deep and found that extra bit, right? That reserve tank. They hauled it out. Offense scored some points. Defense held them. And lo and behold, they walk away with a win. Maybe expend a little more energy than they expected to, but they'll take it.
So for the Buccaneers, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-5. And they'll get another home date next week as the Saints will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Jets, it's going to all but eliminate them from the playoff picture as they fall to 5-8. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.